There are questions that I wondered when I was a beginner that were hard to solve. That's why I'm making this video to help you solve these problems and make your web development journey more smooth and more easier. And if you have more questions that you have, you can just ask them in the comments down below. So let's go. What should I learn first? This is the first question that I have when I was starting my web development journey. And the answer is HTML, CSS and JavaScript. HTML is the foundation of the website, CSS is the styling of the website to make it look more nice, and JavaScript is the functionality of the website. The things that I recommend you to learn in HTML are these. These are the things that I recommend you to learn in CSS, and these are the things that I recommend you to learn in JavaScript. You can pause to look at them. I recommend you to learn these is because they are most commonly used when creating a website. But if I'm just being honest, 80% of the time when you are creating a website is just CSS. So it is better, in my opinion, to learn more about CSS than the other languages. In terms of where to learn them, I learned all these from a YouTuber called BroCode. He teaches the things that I mentioned in the foundational level. Or you can check out my other videos on these topics because I only teach the necessary stuff for creating a website. After learning, I will do projects and I will ask ChatGPT for help if I'm stuck doing them. Some projects that I did when I started was navigation bar, to-do list, and calculator. If you are stuck on figuring out on what projects to do, you can just ask ChatGPT for ideas. But right now I'm making an app to solve this issue, stay tuned. How do I style my website? After you have laid out the foundation of the website or a section, you will have to style it. How do you do that? Good question. There are three ways: inline, internal, and external. Inline styling is when you write the CSS in an element tag to style a specific element. This is an example, where this specific h1 tag will be blue color, and this is another h1 tag without the blue color. Internal styling is when you put the style in the head text of the HTML document. This is an example. The styling that you put will be surrounded by style tags that you put in the head text. External styling is when you put styles in a different file. You have to link this file into the HTML page for it to work. You can use inline styling if you want to style a specific element, use internal for styling smaller projects, and external for styling big projects. By the way, I created a Discord community for beginner or advanced web programmers. There will be daily challenges, people who are interested in web programming, and if you need any help, I will be there. Feel free to join. How to style the elements? To style the elements, you will have to use selectors to select the element that you want to style. The type of selectors include the text, like form, div, paragraph, header, etc., class, and ID. A class is like a label that you put to group different elements. Let's say you have different tags like apple, pear, celery, and books, and you want to style only the fruits, so you put the apples and pears to a class such as fruits, then style the class in CSS. You call the class using a full stop, then the name of the class. An ID is a name that you put for an element, so maybe the ID of the pear will be the text pear. And if you want to style only the pair, you have to call the ID of the pair using hashtag and the name of the ID, then styling it. If you link the files correctly and style it properly, the styles will be displayed when you save it by pressing Ctrl S. If the styling still doesn't change, try refreshing the page or browser. You will need to do this if you close the VS Code. How to center text or elements? This is a common meme among web developers. It feels like a final boss of web development. There are a couple of ways to center them. The common two of doing so are using flexbox and text align. To center elements using flexbox, you put display flex in a parent element, then align item center and justify content center. I have more information on my other video. Another way is text align. Text align center will align all the text to the center. Pretty simple. How to start making a website? The process that I follow is this. Number 1, figure out the goal of the website. What are you trying to do with this website? Is it to write a blog or is it a company website? Number 2, figure out the copywriting. Write out all the words that you want to put in the website. This is the most important part of a website. This will guide the design. Number 3, design the website. With the copywriting figured out, look at the templates online and see which template fits the copy. For example, if you have 4 distinct elements in a section, a template with 4 elements will fit into it. And number 4, code. Code out the design. How do I make the website work on phone and computer? You can do so using Media Query. Different devices have different screen width. So in web development, the device types is based on the screen width in pixel. This is an example of Media Query. It consists of this function and a breakpoint, where the inside code will be activated when the device width hits this breakpoint. Let's say originally, the elements are laid horizontally, and you want to lay them vertically when the screen width shrinks. You will need to put this to do that. This will execute the following function at the maximum width of this amount of pixel. meaning with above this breakpoint will not activate the following function. Then you may be asking, what are the different breakpoints that you can use? Good question. These are the common ones. But when coding, I do not recommend you to start coding for wider screen, then adjusting the elements for smaller ones. I recommend the other way around, which is coding for smaller screen first, then adjusting the elements for wider screen. Most people will use the phone to look at your website, so it is important to prioritize them instead of the wider screens. But it also depends on what website that you use, because some website is specifically used for laptops only, or most people just use their laptop to look at specific kind of website. So that is why the website goal is important. I have more information on the breakpoints and the responsiveness in the other video. So yeah, these are the most common beginner questions answered. And if you have any more questions, you can just ask them in the comment section down below. Anyways, that's my opinion. Bye.